If you've typed moving to New Hampshire from Massachusetts into a search bar at 11 p.m., lying in bed, half curious and half scared to actually look into it, I want you to know you're not alone. I talk to people all the time who started exactly there. I'm Christine Johnson, your favorite Lakes Region real estate agent, and I help people whether you're from Massachusetts or already here in New Hampshire, moving to the Lakes Region, Laconia, Guilford, Meredith, Alton, Belmont. And today I want to walk you through what's actually true, what's marketing fluff, and what nobody tells you until you're already 3 towns deep into your search. Let's start with where most people start, the money, because that's usually what gets the search bar moving in the first place. New Hampshire has no state income tax and no general sales tax. This can be a huge draw from people outside of New Hampshire. But here's the part people skip. Property taxes here run higher to make up for it. So the math isn't New Hampshire is just cheaper. It's New Hampshire is cheaper in some ways and more expensive in others. And which one wins depends on your specific situation, your income type, your home value, how you're funding retirement. I'm not going to pretend I can run your personal numbers in a YouTube video, but I can tell you this. Most people who actually sit down and do the comparison, instead of just trusting random old forum posts, are pleasantly surprised. Not always, but often. Home prices in the Lakes region aren't cheap the way some southern states are cheap, but compared to where you're likely coming from, the Boston suburbs, Metro West, the North Shore, your dollar stretches noticeably further here. You're often getting more land, more privacy, and in a lot of cases, actual lake access or lake proximity for less than what you'd pay for a much smaller lot back home. Day-to-day costs, groceries, gas, services, are roughly comparable to Massachusetts. This isn't an everything is dirt cheap story. It's a your money works harder on the big stuff story. Here's what I really want you to hear, because nobody puts this in the cost of living articles. You know that thing where you're driving in Massachusetts and the light turns green and you've got about half a second before someone behind you taps the horn? That tension where you're always slightly braced for the next thing? That's not just traffic, that's a nervous system that's been running hot for years. People come up here for the lake or the taxes, and then a few months in, they tell me some version of the same thing. I didn't realize how much I was holding on to until I put it down. They're not jumping green lights anymore. They can actually breathe. They can hear themselves think on the drive home. That's not a small thing. That's the whole thing for a lot of people. It doesn't mean the move is easy. You're still leaving routines, people, a version of life that's familiar even when it's not working for you anymore. But the people who make this move well are usually chasing something specific, that slower and more peaceful feeling. If any of this is sounding familiar, if you've got the spreadsheets open and that feeling in your chest that won't quite settle, that's exactly the stage I like to talk to people at. Not when you're ready to make an offer, right here, when you're still figuring out if this is even the right move. If that's where you're at, go ahead and click the link below to schedule a time to chat for an honest take on what towns might actually fit what you're looking for. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation. I'm Christine Johnson, your favorite Lakes Region real estate agent, and I'll see you in the next one.